Is it working? Yes, it is working. All right. Take 3. Maybe this will be one that works. I got to keep this under 17 minutes because it's sort of like some whole magical tie-in with Q, and today being the 17th of September and all that. I'm just taking swings in the dark, I'm just taking swings in the dark. But it'll work better if I can make it all come together. Maybe we should write a song with those lyrics. So, third go round. Got to keep it under 17 minutes and 17 seconds. So, bingo. I don't know if this is going to be my last one, but it feels like maybe it should be my last one. But we'll see where it goes. Got a lot to cover. I'll never cover it all. That's why they all went on too long until now. And maybe this one will be too. Maybe I'll never actually post this one. I'm a minute in and I haven't done a damn thing. All right. Bang. Things are just going to start moving faster and faster. That's one of the reasons I might eject. I'm not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to keep up. Turn to Jesus, or at least start praying for like divine guidance, because stuff is going to get crazy, really fast. I think we got another week before it kicks into like, I don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. This coming weekend, we've got the new moon over the weekend. We got the first day of fall on Monday, and we got the beginning of Rosh Hashanah also on Monday. There's a trifecta. Yeah, just saying. Head on a swivel. But it's going to it's going to start moving faster than even like normal weirdness. Like things are going to get beyond anything you've ever seen, and also beyond what a lot of you were even able to comprehend up until you start seeing the stuff that's gonna happen. And the reason I think this is because something that I've been seeing got backed up by 2 other people yesterday. Who gave me rule of 3. Bang. Starting with me, I would say earlier this summer, I started seeing some people's faces, not many and not always, but a few people's faces starting to become more animal-like. Like, I would see them across an airport. It happened when I was up in D.C. more than anywhere else, frankly, when I flew into D.C. to go to Baltimore. But I've seen it around here in Austin a couple times, too. Like, if you've seen that movie with Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves, where, like, people's faces start to morph into animals, I started seeing that. I was like, well, I can't tell anybody about that. That's pretty crazy. Ha, ha, ha. But then yesterday I got a call from a friend of mine, blue-collar guy, been a friend of mine for decades. Love him. Smart guy. Barely got out of high school, but might be smarter than me. I'm not kidding you. I respect him so much. Great guy. He is also spiritually in tune. And of course, because he is the better man than me, he was the one who came to me first by saying he works in Manhattan a lot. And it's starting to freak him out because he's seen something similar. People's faces becoming more animal-like. Like not completely, like halfway, like part ferret or fox, never any noble animals. I don't see lions. I don't see tigers, I saw a bird once, but a small bird. My friend saw something similar, seeing things similar. So then after that, I watched Kurt Metzger, who maybe we'll talk about someday. And maybe we're even going to talk about today. But Kurt Metzger interviewed Greg Carlwood. Greg Carlwood is the host of the Higher Side Chats. He's a guy I've got very mixed feelings about. I think he's Antichrist, though he might be taking his foot off the gas somewhat on that. But that guy's carrying baggage from his youth about church that I don't think we know yet. And I'm sorry about that if I'm right. But that's got nothing to do with Jesus. All the religions have been infiltrated and some taken over by dark occultists. Christianity too. Sorry. I mean, it's just the way it is. Please, Jesus, smite your enemies. Please smite your enemies in the church. Jesus Christ, I call upon you, please. So I'm sorry, Greg Carlwood, that you hate Christianity. So anyway, he had on, Kurt Metzger had on Greg Carlwood, and because I really do like Kurt Metzger, I listened to it. And afterwards, I listened to actually Greg Carwood, and he had an interview on his show, The Higher Side Chats, which, I don't do as much as I used to, but I did hear. You know why, Greg? Because I felt kind of sorry for you because I thought Kurt talked over you too much. That's why. I thought you didn't really get to say everything you wanted to say. And even though I like Kurt a lot more than you, I still felt like Kurt did not give you the platform you deserved. And I'm a fair critic, okay? Even the things I don't like and people I don't like, if you put out something good, I recognize it. Led Zeppelin, like the scourge of evil. I love them. What can I say? So, Greg Carwood had a guest on his show named Dana Kippel, Kippel. And she is apparently, I don't want to say a specialist, but she's been digging into plasma. And I haven't looked a ton into plasma, but I have heard a lot about it recently. And she too said that people are going to start seeing faces morph into, not everybody, but some people's faces are going to start morphing into a more animal-like state. And we non-animal-like people are going to be able to see it. More of us. Not just me, not just my buddy, not just this woman. Like a lot of people. And the normies in the middle are not going to get it. It's going to be bad. They are going to melt down, freak out. It's going to be bad, really bad. I don't know what it's going to be like for us people who know Jesus. And look, I don't know, true spiritual Jews, true spiritual Muslims. I got no idea. I'm not going to speak for you. Whatever. That's a whole separate thing. We'll talk about Jesus someday soon, whatever. And in relation to other religions. And I would say, what we're seeing here as people start to reveal themselves more and more clearly is an evolution of what's already happening already. These demonic possessed people are externalizing the primal, demonic, animalistic, predator or prey, half humanity or whatever it is, inside them already, but they're just showing it in their personalities. It's gonna get worse. All this demonic stuff is gonna come out of you. And I think, this is only my theory, it's not even a conspiracy theory, it's a spiritual theory. My spiritual theory is that you got as above, so below, which is trying to elevate humanity. And then you got as above, so below, which is trying to sink humanity. Inside the as above, so below, the so below, inside these NPCs, demonically possessed people, mind virus weirdos, whatever, what's so below is now being brought above. We're first seeing it in people's personalities. We're going to continue seeing it in people's externalized expression of who and what they are. I actually had a professor who said this would happen back when I was a theology scholarship student at that creepy college in West Virginia. I wish I could remember his name. He wasn't even one of my religious professors. He was one of my philosophy professors, but he was a Christian. And he said, at the end of days, that's what was going to happen. That, it was going to, and you know what? And again, that guru, the guru that I talked to at, in Acapulco, he said, evil was going to reveal itself. It wanted to reveal itself. And I thought we were just going to get it, in people's personalities and such. But I think it's going to be more than that. I think you're going to be able to physically see it on people. I think it's going to, this evil is going to, show itself to you. Like at the end of Society in its way, that movie Society. Just saying, Zeph's a friend of mine. You know, there are probably a lot of movies you could say it about. Like the Devil's movie with Keanu Reeves. So that's what I think is going to happen. And I would also say there are other ways that this is expressing itself. It's been expressing itself already through aptronyms. Aptronyms. APTRONYM. An aptronym is a person's name who reflects what they are. Like, for example, Bill Gates. Bill is Gates. Bill is a human gate. He's trying to hold people back from being what they should be. Bill is a gate holding back human evolution. Bill Gates is evil. All right, let's move on from Bill Gates. He's an aptronym, though. I'm just saying, this is how the occult world is increasingly pushing itself down on our world. And I mean, you can see it other people too. Anthony Weiner, all right? Terry Moron, right? I mean, again, I could go on and on, whatever. So, and not only in people's names, not only in aptronyms, but in events, okay? The Me Too movement shit the bed when Amber Heard left a turd in Johnny Depp's sheets, right? That was the end of it. Boom. Her iceberg of lies was brought forth before us. You know? I mean, it would not go so far as to say, like, Johnny Depp changed the course of American history. You know? And here's the weird thing. I don't think Johnny Depp's a very good guy, frankly. I think he's one of America's finest film actors, no question. But I don't think he's a very good guy. And yet, he accomplished something great for America. And men. I appreciate it, Johnny Depp, believe me. No matter what you're up to, what you did there, like, it was important. So thank you. And Disney. Why not another Pirates movie? You need the money. So, give him $50 million. Whatever, who cares? If you buy an island with it, Johnny, call me though, right? I'd like to just, I'm not looking for any weird shit on the island. I was just like, I like to sit on the beach, read my book, let the water come up to here. Okay? Thanks. Oh, Johnny, Grim Jack. Look into the character Grim Jack. Then you could just like throw away the Pirates movies. Okay. Dodged a bullet. Trump dodged a bullet. Okay? There's another real event that is reflected in our own. So, okay. The other thing I think is pretty important that I wanted to touch upon, because Kurt Metzger, who I recommend very, very highly, is talking about it a lot. Kurt's talking a lot about Jesus, which is good. Thank you, Kurt. But Kurt is also saying, I'm not a Christian, which is okay, good. Thank you, Kurt. That's honest. But Kurt is expressing his understanding of Christianity as like, and as the way we save this planet or this material plane, or maybe this material plane and the next one, or maybe even hell. I don't know. But let's just like talk about right in here for right now. All right. So Kurt's understanding of Christianity hinges on forgiveness. All right. That like Jesus forgave the sins of the world and took them upon himself. And in that way, whatever inborn sin got us here, don't know what it is. The garden is a metaphor. I'm sorry, I don't take the Bible literally. I take Jesus Christ as my savior literally, okay? I do. But I mean, the Garden of Eden stuff. It's a metaphor. And divine in its way. Anyway, Kurt's interpretation of Christianity is that Jesus took the sins upon the world, upon himself. He forgave everybody. And we, as Christians, in turn, must forgive everybody. And that's how we're going to save the country, the world, whatever. I say Kurt. And anyone else who's going with this interpretation, because I see it on Twitter all the time, especially from people who aren't Christians. Whatever happened to turn the other cheek? Aren't you supposed to forgive people? Aren't the essential tenets of Christianity forgiveness? I would offer, Jesus forgives those who turn to him and say, I'm a sinner. I am wrong in many ways. I cannot get out of here without you, Jesus Christ. Please forgive me. Put me on the right path, etc. Jesus forgives us. Jesus does not forgive the people who revel in their sin. Jesus does not forgive the people who do not turn to him. Jesus is not there for everybody. You got to ask him. You got to ask for forgiveness. You got to ask for salvation. Everybody else, I can't speak for them. I will say, just real quick, I wrote a paper when I was in college as a theology scholarship student that said that I don't necessarily believe that the only way out of here is through Jesus Christ. I think God is giving us easier and easier ways to get out of here. And I traced it backwards all the way through the energy that's committed through the Eastern religions, how tough it is through Zen and all that kind of stuff. But then he made it easier through this, and then he made it easier through Judaism. But there are a ton of rules of Judaism. It means that proves too hard for people. So what we really got was a savior. He takes everything else is off the table. He's the cheat code. Jesus is the cheat code. Doesn't get any easier than that. If you want to do it harder, fine. Go be a Jew. Go be a Muslim. Go be, whatever. I'm not saying you can't get out of here that way. You might well be able to. I don't know. Jesus is the cheat code. It gets the easiest way out of here. Okay? That was my white paper in college. It did not make me a lot of friends. So, what I'm saying is, Christians can forgive people who ask for forgiveness. Christians should forgive people who ask for forgiveness. I don't see where we have to forgive anybody who continually says they want to kill us, who continually wants to force injections upon our children, and still do. I don't think that we need to put forgiveness on people who glory in the murder of a father in front of his children and on television in a traumatic event. I don't think we have to forgive any of those people. And they're not even asking for it. They don't want it. So, Kurt, with all due respect, as a Christian, speaking to a non-Christian who's good about Jesus, thank you, Kurt, you're wrong. We don't got to forgive anybody who doesn't ask for it. If Jesus doesn't, right? If Jesus doesn't, I'm out.